The Falcons took a huge risk, and right now it's looking like a total home run. Everyone said he had red flags. They called him a head case, a locker room risk, a character concern. But guess what? James Pierce Jr. is shutting every single critic up and doing it in dominant fashion. If this keeps up, the Falcons may have pulled off one of the boldest draft moves in franchise history. Let's get into this. We're kicking things off with a massive update on one of the most talked about rookies of the entire offseason, James Pierce Jr. This guy was the center of draft drama for weeks, not because of his talent, that was never in question, but because of all the noise. The rumors, the headlines, the so-called character concerns. They said he had maturity issues. They said he wasn't a leader. Some teams even took him off their draft boards entirely. But since landing in Atlanta, it's been a completely different story. Coaches, teammates, even insiders are saying the exact opposite. Pierce hasn't just impressed on the field, he's winning people over off the field too. Let's rewind for a second and look at some of the brutal headlines before the draft. James Pierce Jr. had red flags at Tennessee. He was off multiple draft boards over maturity concerns. Worst character profile of any top prospect. And even, why would the Falcons take a chance on this guy? Fast forward to now, and all of that seems like nonsense. Since rookie minicamp, OTAs, and mandatory practices started, Pierce has been locked in. He's been professional. He's been focused, and he's looked explosive in drills. From what we're seeing so far, this kid is proving every critic wrong. And here's the best part. Atlanta didn't even have to take him in the top 10 or top 15. They got him at pick 26, a guy who had top 10 talent, all because of rumors that now look completely off base. That's a huge win for the Falcons. Head coach Raheem Morris even admitted, yeah, Pierce isn't the most polished speaker, and he's not going to light up the podium. But guess what? They didn't draft him to talk. They drafted him to destroy quarterbacks. And so far, he's looking like a serious weapon in the making. The Falcons did their homework, they took a risk, and right now it looks like it's paying off big time. So here's the question for Falcons fans. On a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you in James Pierce Jr. right now? Drop your number in the comments and let's see who's buying in and who's still waiting to see more. Let's talk about it. The Falcons didn't just take a chance on James Pierce Jr. They went all in. They believed in him enough to give up serious draft capital, a first-round pick in 2026, a second-rounder in 2025, and a seventh-rounder too. That's not a small risk. That's a bold move. So why did they do it? Because everything they learned about James Pierce Jr., everything their coaches, scouts, and leaders uncovered, told them he was not the problem some made him out to be. He's not immature. He's not standoffish. He's just quiet. He's just different. He's not the kind of guy who wants to be in front of cameras or media microphones, but he's the kind of guy who wants to destroy offensive lines, who wants to blow up plays, and who wants to hit quarterbacks. And that's exactly what the Falcons need. Raheem Morris, the head coach himself, couldn't stop praising the kid. He said James is locked in. He's sharp, he's smart, and he asks all the right questions. He's not just some physical freak. He's thoughtful, he's focused, and he's intentional with everything he does. When he talks, he looks you in the eye. He's direct. He's serious. He's not playing around. And let's be honest, if the worst thing people are saying is that he's too focused or too serious, that's not a weakness, that's a strength, especially in a league where distractions can end careers. James Pierce Jr. isn't out here trying to be a superstar on social media. He's trying to become a game wrecker on Sundays. So if you're still holding on to old headlines or tired narratives about his personality, let it go. Because what we're seeing now is a guy who is already earning trust inside the building. He's showing up, he's grinding, he's delivering, and that's exactly why the Falcons paid the price to go get him, because they saw what others missed. What do you think? Did the Falcons overpay, or did they just land a future star at a bargain? Let us know in the comments. Was trading back into the first round worth it for James Pierce Jr.? We want to hear your take. Sound off below. Let's talk about the real reason James Pierce Jr. was always destined for the first round, and why the Falcons just might have landed a future superstar. Right before the draft, one stat popped out that made everything else, including the character talk, seem irrelevant. James Pierce Jr. was the only edge rusher in the entire class with back-to-back seasons of over 20% pass rush win rate and 20% pressure rate. That's elite. That's rare. And it wasn't just one scouting service saying this, multiple charting services backed it up. Translation? This guy was dominating offensive lines every single year, no matter what else was going on. I've watched every snap of his college career, and I'm telling you, he was a nightmare for offenses. Sure, his sack numbers dipped a little last season, but do you know why that happened? Because he was so dominant in 2023, teams started planning entire blocking schemes just to stop him. Double teams, triple teams, slide protections. Offensive lines were saying, we'll let someone else beat us, but not James Pierce Jr. And even then, he still racked up 7.5 sacks and 55 total pressures. That's with teams doing everything in their power to slow him down. So let's be honest, if the only reason a player like this almost fell out of the first round was due to whispers about his personality, that's not just a concern, that's a gift to the Falcons. Right now, this pick looks like a major win for Atlanta. They didn't just bet on talent, they bet on growth, maturity, and leadership. And so far, James Pierce Jr. is delivering on all of it. And get this, head coach Raheem Morris is going even further to make sure Pierce feels supported and settled in. He made a smart move, pairing Pierce with another quiet but elite leader on the team, cornerback A.J. Terrell. Just like Pierce, Terrell came into the league as a serious, focused rookie. Not flashy, not loud, just focused on football. And that's the kind of energy Pierce brings too. So Morris connected them, not just as teammates, but as examples. Two serious guys, two professionals, one helping the other find his footing. Morris said it best. They're different positions, different body types, but their personalities are so similar. I remember AJ came in just like James, focused, serious, and ready to work. And that's what great coaching looks like. Understanding your players and building bonds that bring the best out of them. Falcons fans, do you think James Pierce Jr. and A.J. Terrell could become the next dynamic duo of this defense? Drop a fire emoji in the comments if you believe these two can lead Atlanta back to dominance. And tell us, who are you most excited to watch this season? Imagine this. You just finished dominating college football. You're the big name on campus. Everyone knows your face. Everyone chants your name. Then suddenly, you walk into an NFL locker room and you're the rookie. Some of the guys in that room are 10 to 15 years older than you. They've been through wars. They've seen it all. And now, it's your turn to prove yourself all over again. That transition is huge, and it's not easy. But James Pierce Jr. isn't doing it alone. He's got someone in his corner, A.J. Terrell, a quiet warrior, a calm killer on the field, and most importantly, someone just like him, focused, serious, not flashy, just about football. And that's what makes this connection so powerful. They push each other. They challenge each other. Reports say they've already been yelling back and forth during practice. And that's a great thing. That's not drama. That's fire. That's two competitors going all out trying to make each other better. And Pierce, he's made it crystal clear where his heart is. He said it himself. I'm not flamboyant. I just want my tape to speak for me. In today's world, with all the noise, the fame, the social media, the distractions, it's rare to find a rookie like this. A guy who doesn't care about the spotlight. A guy who's not chasing clout. A guy who just wants to put on the helmet, hit the field, and wreck quarterbacks. And that's exactly what James Pierce Jr. is. A pure football player, a throwback, a gift to Atlanta. Think about it. 25 teams passed on him. And while others were scared of whispers and rumors, the Falcons saw through it all. They believed in him. They made the bold move. They gave up next year's first-round pick, and they bet on greatness. And now it looks like that gamble is paying off. So to every team that let him fall to pick 26, thank you. To the Rams for letting Atlanta trade back in, thank you. And most of all, to James Pierce Jr. Thank you for being exactly who you are, focused, fierce, and ready to be a game changer in this league. Atlanta may have found its next defensive star. And the NFL? You've been warned. Do you believe James Pierce Jr. is going to be the steal of the draft? Rate your confidence in him from 1 to 10 in the comments right now. Let's hear it, Falcons fans. How hyped are you for this future superstar? All right, Falcons fans, we've said it loud and clear. James Pierce Jr. was doubted, judged, and nearly written off by half the league before the draft even started. But now, he's in Atlanta. He's locked in. And he's out to prove every last one of them wrong. You can feel it. The chip on his shoulder, the fire in his game, the focus in his eyes. This isn't just another rookie. This is a man on a mission. The kind of player who doesn't care about the spotlight. He just wants to hit quarterbacks, earn respect, and help this Falcons team win. If you're excited to watch him shut up the doubters and tear through offenses this season, now's your time to show it. How confident are you that James Pierce Jr. is going to dominate this season? Drop your answer in the comments. 1 to 10. How big of a steal was this pick for Atlanta? Let's hear from the real fans. And if you're as fired up as I am, hit that like button to show the world the Falcons didn't just get a good player, they might have found their next superstar.